You're going to have smaller black plastic boxes. In certain neighborhoods, older neighborhoods, you'll have the metal boxes, and that'll be your water meters. Further up in the yard, you'll have a greener box. That's more a private, where you have your water sprinklers or any other water systems in your yard. Easement from the edge of the road, you can get the information from the main city of what is the actual easement from the middle of the road into the yard is where you'll find your transformer box for power. You'll have your telephone box, and you'll have your Time Warner box. And those will range in different sizes. And now also, depending if it's an older neighborhood, you'll have them in metal, in a newer neighborhood being in plastic. The telephone will always be slender, tall, and almost have like multiple screws sticking out of it. That's usually for the phone company to come out and open them up differently. The Time Warner ones will look like a small bullet, upside down bullet, a little small mushroom, and those are a closed round lid where they're able to pull up and almost act like a chair. And then our transformers are ranged between, if it's a pull box, it'll be a square on the ground, looks like concrete, but it's fiberglass. Have 4 screws, and those are usually just where the primary comes through there. It's a pull box, it's an emergency, so it could change out into a transformer. And then the actual transformer would be in metal and be an opening in the front side. Well, you got your flat ones out there. Supposedly they're rated, traffic rated, but your smaller plastic like Time Warner or water meters, they are only rated to just like say a riding tractor, but any vehicle passing them over them in a certain side will break them. So on your metal ones or your fiberglass ones, they're rated to a certain depth, but you keep driving over them with something heavier, you will crack them. The transformers, the control box for the whole neighborhood. Most of all your metal transformers will have warnings on them. You don't want to have, it's very important that nobody, no kids, nobody, even though they're nice little boxes you could sit on, that's not a box you want to be sitting on. You want to stay away from it. In summer, when there's a lot of people using air conditioning, them boxes do get hot and hot enough where you can't touch them. In the newer neighborhoods, you'll have them above ground. In the older neighborhoods, they'll have a round lid and they're slanted, and we have actual transformer inside the ground. Now, don't grab no sticks and don't poke in there. That's going to be the same thing. Don't play with them. Anytime when you need to, as simple as putting in a plant, putting in a flower, putting in a driveway, anything that has to disturb the dirt, you would just call on a cell phone, called 811. The law states that anything digging in North Carolina, you have to call 811. You also have to mark the area in white or use pink flags. Both of those could be found at Home Depot or Lowe's. Small little things you could put out there. Now, if you can't get those, you need to tell 811 you're going to be using different, let's see, you're going to mark it in pink. If you mark it, we'll know, or the locators know when they come out that we don't have to mark that whole area. We'll just mark where you're going to put it at. Or if you're going to put in trees, you put circles of where the trees are going to be at. Your Time Warner will be the small green plastic. We'll have Cablevision on it. Their main control systems for their amplifiers will be in a doghouse, and that's what's the actual name of it. It's a doghouse, and they'll have flaps on the side. Them flaps is to release the heat that's coming out of that actual transmission line for them. Your telephones will always be in that rectangular, upright, skinny little box, and in the older neighborhoods, they get even smaller. It has all your communications all within that small box. In some yards, depending if you have irrigation, you'll have a backflow preventer. You'll have a green box or a white box, or in some cases on the older neighborhoods, a metal box, or a fiberglass box that stays up about 2 foot high. And that's how it works.